No, they want their money in full. If not, you on the streets. And that's just how it is. Hey, what's up guys? It's Denise.Marieee here, back with another video. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be the truth about moving out your parents' house. In this video, obviously, I'll be giving you guys the truth, the raw truth behind the scenes, what it takes to moving out your parents' house the smart way. And you know what social media doesn't normally tell you, okay? Because I want you guys to understand that after you take that Snapchat, that TikTok, that Instagram live, or whatever the case may be, sharing your experience of getting approved for your first apartment, after you've done that, real life sinks in. And one thing about it, baby, rent is due every month. Like, they be wanting the whole thing, and so ain't no running from that. So I'm going to be telling you guys my experience, how I got approved for my first apartment at 19 years old with no co-signer, with no rental history, all of that, and how you can do the same the smart way. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into the video. All right, you guys, so I'm going to be looking down at my notes because I do have a few notes here because I can talk about this stuff all day long, honestly. But I don't want you guys to be here forever. So I'm going to go ahead and go off my notes and we're just going to take it from there. So again, starting out with just a disclaimer. If you're watching this video or if you've seen someone else's video or picture, TikTok, whatever the case may be online, and you're like, dang, they're 19 years old and they just moved out to this luxurious apartment. What am I doing with my life? I want to stop you right there, and I want to just say that the grass is definitely not always greener on the other side. You don't know what that person did to get to where they are, for one, and then for two, who's to say that that's really their apartment? Like, you could legit get an Airbnb, stage it, post it up like it's yours. Like, I don't know what people did to get what they got. Let's just start there. So don't compare yourself. Don't feel like you're, not moving fast enough. You're not on the correct path or whatever the case may be, because we are all in different stages and seasons. Everyone's life and situation is totally different. So we're going to start there. No comparing yourself. Comparison is a thief of joy, okay? Do not compare yourself. Starting there. All right, and then we're going to go right into the boring part, and then we're going to get into kind of like, okay, the funner details. Not really funner. It's not even a word. We're going to go deeper into other details, but we're going to get into kind of like the boring part to start off, like the process of applying, what you need to apply to an apartment, get approved. So before you even start looking for an apartment, because typically when we say, oh, I want an apartment, we go and look at the most luxurious, high-end or whatever. But the reality is you got to pay for that apartment, right? And you want to be able to pay for that apartment and also be able to pay other things that you need or buy other things that you need for yourself, essential items. So the first thing you want to do is you want to look at how much money am I bringing in per month? And I mean consistently. I'm not talking about bonuses. I'm not talking about a few DoorDash that you do. I'm not talking about money that's fluctuating. I'm talking about a consistent income every single month. This is something that you will guarantee bring, okay? And typically with most apartments, they want you to make 2 to 3 times the rent. So make sure that before you go look at an apartment, you see what you make per month, and then you find the apartment according to that. Okay, so with that, basically, let's just say you're looking for an apartment and the apartment was $1,400, okay, and you need to make 2 times the rent, so it'll be $2,800 is what they would want you to make per month for you to be approved for that apartment, if that makes sense. So that's the first thing they'll ask for. So when you apply for an apartment, they'll want to see check stubs proving that that's what you make. Now, we are living in an era where there's a lot of entrepreneurs that have money coming from YouTube, that have money coming from their businesses, all kinds of stuff. So the apartment that I actually moved in, they had an option where you could provide a bank statement of however long you signed your lease for. So if you signed your lease for 6 months or a year, they want to see that you have those funds into your account, and you could possibly get approved that way. That's not in every city, every state. Oh my god, my light just went out. That's not in every city or every state, but some apartments I feel also go with that, so you can possibly do that as well. Let's see. The second option, or the third option, I guess, could be you could get a cosigner. I personally do not recommend this option, and I say that because basically with you getting a cosigner, it says like if you don't pay your rent, then they gotta pay your rent. So I don't recommend that. But if you can get the 2 to 3 times the rent, you know, whether you got a job or 2 jobs or whatever the case may be, if you can prove that source of income, then you will be totally fine. But yeah, so basically it's a 2 to 3 times the rent. They do run your credit. I personally, I opened up a CD account, which is basically a secure loan, basically money that I already had. I gave them $500, and literally in my bank, I just pressed pay a couple of days before its due date. And so that's how I started establishing my credit. For those of you who are afraid of credit cards, that's a whole nother video, but that's the way to start your credit at 18. Is you can open up a secured loan, put that money. So if you guys get graduation money or anything like that, I would definitely say open up a CD. It's literally money you cannot touch, or else you could be penalized for it, as far as like your credit. But definitely consider opening up a CD, because it does help build your credit. But mainly apartments these days, they just want to know that you can pay your rent, so they want you to make the 2 to 3 times the rent, and have some type of credit history. But again, if that's not working out for you, they will definitely let you co-sign. But I just say with co-signing, it's a really high risk. You have to have someone's name literally like on your lease as well. So if you don't make payments, they have to cover it. It's just a whole mess. So I recommend that you try to get something that you don't necessarily need a co-signer for. That way you don't have to worry about anything falling on someone else in case you do fall. All right, and so my first piece of advice, I said rent was due every month. So just FYI, if you think that because you want to go to this trip in LA, because you got to get your hair slayed, because you got to, you know what I'm saying? No, they want their money in full. If not, you on the streets. And that's just how it is. And it hit me every time I pay my rent. I'm like, okay, they want this money in full. So just FYI, you know, it's obvious, it's real obvious. But I just want to kind of let y'all know that literally, like, it's real life, okay? It's not like with your parents, how you can tell your parents, like, hey, like, I got stuff planned. Can I pay you next week? Like, it don't work like that. So keep that in mind, okay? Secondly, do not live above your means. I know, again, on social media, there's a lot of people that they're in this apartment, they're in that apartment, they're in this loft, they're in this, you know, it's hard, okay? But I want to tell y'all that literally after you post your little Snapchat, your little Instagram post, whatever, reality sits in with you. Like, okay, like I have to pay my bills. Like I have to, you know, take care of XYZ. So don't do it for the gram, okay? Make sure that it's something that you genuinely, wholeheartedly want for yourself and that you can actually afford, and you're not killing yourself to prove a point, basically, okay? Another point that I've brought up is that stack your money for as long as you can while you're living with your parents. Me personally, I advise anybody that is planning to move out, if you can have anywhere between 6 months to a year worth of however much your rent is saved in your account, you're golden. Because honestly, with COVID-19, as you guys know, there are plenty of people laid off of their jobs and all kinds of craziness, and you just never know. So preparing for the absolute worst is definitely the smartest thing, because let me tell y'all, life happens, okay? The stupidest stuff happen out of nowhere, and there's no better feeling to know that you can financially pay for it. Yes, it hurts to pay for it, but to know that you actually have that money and it's not bothering you or anything like that, it just feels a lot better. So I recommend that you guys definitely have that money aside. That way, in case of an emergency, you'll have it. So again, 6 to 12 months, or yeah, 6 to 12 months of rent just saved. And then also, you know, you have money that you can continue to add to. Like, it's really, really good. Listen, you're gonna save as much money as possible staying with your parents. Like, it's never gonna get cheaper than that. Let's see here. When it comes to furniture, me personally, I kind of treated my apartment like a dorm. Like, I bought all of my items gradually. Like, I just, like, leading up to my move out date, I literally was buying little stuff, like little by little, and I was just kind of like adding it or building myself up with my supplies and furniture and stuff like that. So definitely want to move out and you want to have your house fully furnished, like it's gonna bother you if it's not furnished. That's what I recommend, is definitely buying furniture along the way, but making sure you're also saving money. So but buying little stuff here and there, that way you're making it easier on yourself throughout the process. Or the second way that you can do, you move into your apartment and just buy furniture as you go. Don't rush it. Don't pull out your savings, all of that. But buying little pieces as you go. Because the reality, guys, is this is your first apartment, okay? You don't have to be extra. I was real extra with it, but you do not have to be extra. You can definitely move into your first apartment and gradually get things as you go, because guess what? It's your first apartment. So your next apartment, you have the opportunity to buy new furniture and do everything like that. But it's your first apartment. So definitely take your time with it. Don't rush it. And definitely, everybody doesn't trust social media to buy stuff from, but a lot of stuff I got from like Facebook Marketplace, and you can't tell, like everything looks so brand new. So definitely shop around. Don't be that person that's like, I'm gonna go into this one place and buy everything off the floor and just put it, because that's sometimes the more expensive way to do it. So definitely shop around and take your time with that process. And then for my fourth piece of advice when it came to moving out, guys, definitely, and I said this multiple times just in a different way, but definitely move out for you, okay? Not to prove a point or anything like that, not to make it look like you living, but simply do it for you. Because as I said again, once the camera stop rolling, reality sinks in, and you are the one who is stuck to pay the bills, not the person you're trying to make jealous or whatever the case may be. And you know, just really understand the process that it takes to move out, paying rent and all of that. It's definitely not necessarily the most easiest thing ever. Yeah, this video was pretty much all over the place, but I try to give you guys as much advice as possible, because I did get a lot of, you know, like, oh my gosh, like, how did you move out and all of that. So just to sum it up, just to give you guys a summary in case I was jumping over a little bit too much, I stayed with my mom. I graduated high school 2020 this summer. I was a pandemic baby, if you want to call it. First graduate class to graduate during the pandemic with masks and all that stuff. Didn't get to tell my friends goodbye. the proper way. But yeah, so I graduated high school. I did start a business, so that boosted my savings as well. I launched a business. It did very well. I stacked as much of that money that I could, and then I had jobs in between. I was also in school. So it's just kind of like, it was a lot, but I was stacking my money, I was saving, all of that. And then I was also building my credit. As I said, I opened up a CD, and I also had a self loan, which I'm not sure if that really helped me. I didn't see like dramatic changes, but with the CD, I definitely seen some good, like, huge jumps. So I was kind of building my credit, stacking my money, and once I felt like I was at a comfortable spot, once you get to that 6 months to a year worth of money saved, then I went ahead and I just applied for an apartment, and I got approved, because I was able to provide my check stubs, and they made the two to three times the rent, with no problem. So definitely it's possible. I want to let anybody know that it's definitely possible. My apartment was actually on my vision board. So if you stay focused and you stay disciplined, like I said, it took me a whole lot of discipline to get to where I am today. So definitely penny pinch, okay? Don't be out here just spending all kind of money that you don't got to look like you got it. And no, you have to be very disciplined when it comes to getting the nicer things in life. And that goes with anything, not just an apartment, but with everything. It takes a whole lot of discipline. This video was very long, so I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope that you all were able to take something from this video. I tried not to jump all over the place. If there's anything that you guys just want to ask that maybe I didn't cover in this video, don't hesitate to reach out to me under the comment section, or I'll put my social media handles. You can DM me, and I can try to answer your questions to the best of my ability and kind of guide you through the process of how I did everything. And if you're new here and you made it this far, join the family. What are you doing? It's lit. You're gonna love it here. I have a lot of content lined up. Can't wait to share it with you guys. And that's pretty much it. So until next time, bye.